Hello everybody. It's a very special day because I have an exam tomorrow on all of this different history stuff. So today we're going to have a special extravaganza on turning points in history based around the turning points in history that I've been given and some of my arguments about them. First turning point, it's 1550 something. I can't remember the year. And a certain lovely lady's sister has gotten cancer in her belly, so it looked like she was pregnant, but she just kept getting pregnant until she died. And her sister inherits the throne and does something very interesting around religion. This is the beginning of modern Catholic versus Protestant split in religion, except it's not. The split actually begins with this lovely lady's father, King Henry the Meme. You know the one. He killed all his wives or something, and then created the Church of England just so he could divorce people. And when he died, his son came in and started to continue the Church of England. But then his son died. And after his son died, his first daughter comes in, the one that got cancer. And she's a devout Catholic. She tries to utterly obliterate all of this Church of England stuff. And then she dies of cancer. And the next person to come in, Queen Elizabeth I, who was a complete genius. It blows my mind how smart this lady was over 500 years ago. It's not actually over 500 years. Forget about that fact. Anyway, she comes in, she's like, this Church of England idea is really cool, let's run with it. And so she creates these two acts of Parliament, the Act of Supremacy and the Act of something else that I can't remember. I'm so good at this. And what they do is they instate the Protestant Church of England as a parliamentary body with the Queen as the head of that church. And long story short, she manages to indoctrinate pretty well, most of urban England. And the Pope gets salty at her, and there's all these dramas with the Pope, and I don't know actually much else about this, but the question is whether this point absolutely changed history. We're studying turning points, and a turning point is supposed to be a point in history where something happens and it is completely irreversible and it changes the course of history. And of course there's a lot of problems with that I'll go over in another time. I'll go over them right now. Every single point in time fundamentally changes history. It's such a stupid idea. One of my arguments for this essay is going to be that history changes over larger trends. You can't pinpoint one year and say that is how history changes. And that's exactly what happens here. The evolution of the Protestant Church of England began long before Elizabeth came to the throne, and we're continuing up until she died. Because her dad made it, and she had to... It takes a long time to indoctrinate a whole people and create a working religion. Also, Elizabeth was a genius because she didn't use this religion for religious sake. She used this religion as a tool to rule. She wanted to ideologically unite Britain. She didn't care what people did in private, but she wanted English people to, in public, be able to stand on the same ground as each other. A famous quote is, "I don't wish to open windows into men's hearts," which is a very good one because it points out exactly that, She doesn't care what they actually think or do behind their back. She cares that they show themselves as good English Protestants. Next, turning point, once again in the land of the England, and it's in 1649. A certain Game of Thrones style Mad King is being extra dickhead. Special note that in this time a king was appointed by right of God, and everyone took God very seriously, so doing anything against the king was almost unheard of. But he fucked up so bad that Parliament arrested him, put him on trial, and executed him. They killed God's chosen man to rule. It was completely unheard of at least in Europe. These turning points are very Eurocentric, actually. It's sort of disappointing. And yeah, so this guy's dead. A Republican England comes in. I think it's Britain at this point. Maybe it was always Britain. And they rule for about 3 years before they fuck everything up, and the monarchy comes back. But it never came back as powerful as before. So is this a turning point? Did they make history the moment they severed Charles's head from his neck? Oh yeah, the king that was executed was called King Charles, by the way. Like, it's a pretty definite moment, right? But, like, no, because they just went back to the monarchy. And this event is very special in terms of the next event, I think.